Hello, and welcome to this preview of Regensburg, Germany, and Murray State University's semester in Regensburg Program. Our hosts will be past participants, students who have used this program to spend a semester studying in Germany and traveling throughout Europe. Here's what they have to say.
My senior year of high school, I decided that I would definitely study abroad. Whichever institution that I went to, it didn't matter. I knew that I would study abroad, and I made that dream come true. It's very easy if there's a study abroad program such as Regensburg.
Before my first semester in my freshman year, I came to summer when I heard about the Regensburg program. I was like, man, that sounds interesting. Yeah, right, like I'd ever get to go. But it turned out that, yes, I did get to go, and it was great.
I'm a senior, and I thought it was about time that I went somewhere and tried to live in another country for a while.
I chose Regensburg because I believe it's probably one of the more inexpensive programs. Money is always an issue, but it has a great location in southern Bavaria.
Living in Germany is an excellent place because it's so central in Europe that on the weekends you can travel most anywhere.
Being able to live in Germany and to actually be there with the people was just a wonderful experience for me. I lived in an apartment on Untere Bachgasse, which is supposed to be the most romantic street in Regensburg. I absolutely loved it. I was there with other German students, and they were extremely friendly and helped me out a lot in just understanding the world that they live in and kind of helping me get adjusted to German life.
The group that I was with, there were about 5 or 6 of us that ate dinner together in my apartment, usually nightly. We cooked very special meals, and the girls weren't as good as cooks as the boys, but that's okay. We all had our own special part, and what we did was we'd go to the grocery store together and pick out what we wanted to eat for dinner, because usually you shop there daily. You don't shop over the week and then go back. So we had a great time as far as making our dinners nightly, and my apartment was the meeting spot most of the time.
I've always been interested in history, and so I really got a feel for the history that was in Regensburg and all of Germany.
The nice thing about the Regensburg program is that you learn the language while you are there with American faculty members. So just because you don't know the language doesn't mean you can't go to a study abroad program with Murray State.
My language classes were excellent. We had a professor who loved the language of German and who knew enough English to really be of some help to us too. There's no better way to learn a language than to go and live and experience it.
You're learning from someone who knows because they've been speaking it since they were a baby, and then they're helping you from day one. And
we had excursions to monasteries, to the BMW factory, to Siemens, and I got the most out of the BMW and Siemens. I just found those fascinating.
Traveling in Europe is definitely an experience. Before I went to Europe, I was kind of a slow mover, and if someone said meet me at 5 o'clock, maybe 10 after 5 I would arrive. And in Europe, if the train's leaving at 5 o'clock, they mean the door is shut and the train is leaving at 5 o'clock. You have to be on that train, and so that was definitely something I learned, was to be quick.
The boundaries of the different countries and principalities were so close. You can cross cultures merely in a matter of hours.
Europe is a really neat place to travel because it's all so tight and compact together. I was able to go to a different country pretty much every weekend.
You go to a town, it's got its own historical background. You go to the next town, and the architecture could be totally different, and the people reflect that difference.
I met not only German people, but I met a lot of French people, Italian, English, just from all over, other Americans from other states.
We went to Geneva, Paris, let's see, I'm trying to name them all, Madrid, Barcelona, Prague, Vienna, Salzburg. I went into Holland, and we went to Venice. Oh, I forgot to mention Berlin and Munich. They were all tops on my list. Regensburg's the best.
Just traveling around, seeing different sites, meeting people from different countries was just the biggest thrill of my life.
I think most of all, students need to know and understand that they don't need to take home there, but to make their home.
Try to go with an open mind, understand that it is going to be a very different world than it is in the United States, but just go and enjoy it and have a good time.
I started to see how different people are and the way history has treated each country and each person differently.
I've definitely gained a lot of self-confidence. I was really unsure at first how to get from A to B. And by the end of the time, I was going pretty much where I wanted to, when I wanted to, without hardly even thinking about how to get there.
Certainly I learned not only a lot about myself, but I learned a lot about other people and how to live in a totally different environment. When you step into someone else's environment, you're learning their ways, and that's very important in today's world.
You get there and then you immediately start moving at a fast pace because you want to see and do as much as you possibly can, which I did. And after you make it through to the end, you're like, I can do anything.
This concludes our preview of the semester in Regensburg program. Start planning now to make this experience part of your academic career.